Hey, what's up, fellas? Welcome to Steel City Steelers pre-snap. Luther Dupree. I'm here with the Hall of Famers, Smokin Jim and Claudio Rosano. Thanks for coming in. We want to just do a quick recap on the game last week, and preview the Steelers Cowboys game. Claudio, your first thoughts on the game last week, Steelers versus Ravens. What were your thoughts?
Well, this day and age, everybody is stat crazy, analytics or whatever. But if you look at the game, statistically, Baltimore pretty much dominated that game. But the Steelers won the game. They scored more points, which is most important. The things that stuck out to me was, again, Spillane, 10 tackles, 1 interception, pick 6. He had a nice game. They have lost nothing. I don't know if I hate to say it, but he might be doing better than Bush would have been doing. Not saying he's a better player, but I think he's doing better. Tuitt had a nice game. I give the coaching staff a lot of credit because they made a great adjustment at halftime, and that's what coaching is. You go in with a game plan, and that's what drives me nuts about baseball, but they go in the game plan and they stick with it. The Steelers went in with a game plan apparently, and maybe it didn't work the first half, but they came back the second half through great coaching adjustments, and you got to give the Steelers credit because they were very persistent and resilient. And they won the game. And Baltimore, the second half looked like, I don't know, like they weren't in it, and the Steelers were all fired up, and 21-7 second half.
Okay. Yeah, definitely agree. Smokin Jim, your thoughts on the game? Well, and Claudio, you had that game right or wrong. I'm not sure. Did you call the Ravens or the Steelers?
Next question.
Spoken like a true politician. Smokin Jim,
I had it wrong.
Thoughts on the game?
Hey, I tell you what, Luther, man, my thoughts on the game is, under Coach Tomlin, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been the Harlem Globetrotters of football. They knew they had to stop the run. Everybody knew the Ravens was going to run. Steelers couldn't stop Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, who they passed over in the draft to keep Mika Fitzpatrick and Lamar Jackson. They would, and I agree with Claudio. The Steelers won the game on paper, but physically, when you're getting run over like that, like a Mack truck, hey, listen, this is a very undisciplined team, very undisciplined coaching staff. But the one constant is just like in 2004 when Ben went 15-0, they believe in their quarterback, their leader, their player coach, Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, all right. You guys don't want to admit it, but all I'm going to say is I call the Steelers victory. The first half, it didn't look good, but I know this Steelers team is built different. They didn't play well the first half. They went in there, made some adjustments. The offense was really causing them problems in the first half. 24 yards passing. They come out in the third quarter. Immediately, they throw to Juju for 24 yards. They opened it up. They let Ben be Ben, and they did what they needed to do. So kudos to the coaching staff, Ben, and the defense came through at the end. They had some problems in the middle because Tyson Alualu went down. Isaiah Buggs was struggling badly in the first half, but then he made a couple big plays in the second half. Definitely the coaching staff made the adjustments. Spillane has been playing very well. 10 tackles a game, a pick 6 against Lamar Jackson. He set the tone for that game. I like what he's doing. They did have some rushing yards. They had some problems with that defensive line early on with Buggs being in the game. And then also you had Hayward getting out every 2 plays. So they had some struggles, but they still were able to win. That's the mark of a good team. And, Jim, I know what you said about Mika, but he made the play of the game. He stopped that touchdown pass, covered about 20 yards, and knocked that pass down out of the air. So he's getting back into form. He may have an injury that we don't know about because he's not moving as fast back there, but he's playing through it. So I don't want to hear that. He made the play of the game, and that was definitely a great pick, Jim. Hey, you know what? Let's look at this as we match up the offense. We do have a special guest. Let's see if he's going to come in here hating or if he's going to come in here with some sense. Let's see. Who we got? Is this Lee? Lee, we can't hear you, Lee. Lee, take yourself off mute. Take yourself off mute, Lee. Lee, you're still muted. Lee,
can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Come on, man. Learn how to use the technology, Lee. Come on, man. Don't mess up the flow of the show.
I come with nothing but the truth. I state nothing but the facts.
You come in here with an afro pick in your hair, and you don't have an afro.
That's right. It's Sunday morning. Hey, I like what the Steelers is doing. I like how they're playing. I like what the offense is doing, the defense. Hopefully they get the guys inside, you know, in the middle with if Hayward's playing or not. But I like what they're doing. And I think besides this game, because you're playing professional teams, I think the Ravens could give them a run for the money the second go around. But if not, they'll go undefeated until they play Kansas City. And I think it will come down to the wire.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, let's see. We got my man French in here again. Hey, y'all.
Terry French. What's up, Terry?
All right. Terry, I agree they did well, but Lamar is all that. Come on. He's an MVP. He's just getting better and better. Come on. Don't put him down like that. All right. Lou Callaway. Very good game. Best game from both teams all year. Yeah, Lou, you came in there talking all that stuff. And just like I told you, they're going to get smacked around at home. All right. And Dion Rice, tell Lee I'm coming for his title. Steel City Sports. Hey. Dion Rice, a host from the past. What's up, Dion? Yeah, we got to get you back in here, bruh.
Ask them, is his high school still open?
Is your high school still open? Do they even play football? They just right? Come on, man. You can't come in here talking stuff when you got carried against the high school. Come on. When was the last time they won anything? They had to leave the city, Lee.
Hey, Lou, you know, the city is what it is. I mean, you know, it's in bad shape.
Out there, Lee. You throw a lot of flags, boy. It's flag football when you go see a ref.
Hey, those kids is at midget football level. They wasn't fundamentally being disciplined. You know, we got to do what we got to do as officials. You know. Yeah. I'm not making $200,000 a season to blow calls.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hey, my man Luke Hallow, I respect that. I have no excuses. Exactly. When you come in here, you know, bring the facts. I'm going to be right, and you just take your L, just like the Ravens took their L. All right, real quick, let's jump on get on this. Let's go Steelers D versus the Dallas Cowboys offense. What do you expect? Let's start with Smokin Jim right now.
Well, I tell you what, man. I'm really excited about the Dallas Cowboys this week. Zeke Elliott, who I was predicting would have a great game, like J.K. Dobbins and Miles Sanders, but he's out with a hamstring. So they're going with the backup. But they got some great wide receivers, Luther. And I tell you what, man, they just announced that they're going with quarterback Garrett Gilbert. And I tell you what, man, Jackie Sherrill once said, Garrett Gilbert is the best quarterback he's seen since Dan Marino. Poor Jackie going see now. But hey, listen, I would have picked Garrett too. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. He was a parade All-American in high school. He started for Texas and SMU. He's the son of a coach, Gail Gilbert's son. But the main reason why I would pick him to start, and I think he'll do well today, is last year he was the AAF championship winner. He was the leading passer in the AAF and MVP of the league. You got to go with a golden arm like that.
Wow. All right. Let's go. Claudio, what's up?
Well, they definitely have the weapons. Amari Cooper, I like CD Lamb a lot. Their tight end is pretty good. So they do have some weapons. But now with the running game shutting down, I think they're going to put pretty much all the onus on the quarterback, which means he's going to have to get rid of it quick, which means probably the wide receivers might be out, which means he's going to throw them to the backs and to the tight ends. If I were the Steelers, I would blitz like crazy, change packages, change things up, confuse the kid because this is his first game. in the big time, so to speak. And I think the best thing to do is just confuse them. Now, on Dallas's part, I think what they have to do is, like, to use an analogy in baseball, you pitch backwards. Instead of starting off with a fastball, start off with a changeup. They're going to have to maybe pass on first down. They're going to have to do crazy things, some gadget plays. When Jones fights Tyson, he's not going to stand there toe to toe. He's going to move. He's going to dance. He's going to do some unorthodox things. Okay. And what do they have to lose? They have to try something. They're not going to beat Pittsburgh defense straight up. So even though they have weapons, do they have the quarterback to throw it? I don't know. But if I were the Steelers, I would definitely try to confuse them and blitz them.
Okay. All right, man. Well, let me say this. The Cowboys have struggled so bad. They're one of the worst teams in football. They have the fourth string quarterbacks that's going to play right now. Ezekiel Elliott is having hamstring issues. He's questionable. Listen, the Steelers are expected to win by 14. They should at least win by 17, maybe 20 points. Dallas has quit on that coach, that overrated coach that I remember both of you said Mike McCarthy should have been brought in here. I told you that was a bad move. He was overrated, and he's proven that right now. He can't get the job done. His team quit on him 2 games into the season. They're out in the media saying they make no adjustments. They have no idea what they're talking about. I don't see this game being close at all. As long as Ben doesn't try to do too much, we win this game easy by 20 points. Dallas Cowboys are a horrible team, horrible organization. Their owner, ever since he got his hands in the mix, they've gotten worse and worse. So, yeah, Amari Cooper has talent, but he doesn't have a quarterback. I haven't seen this guy, Jim. I don't have any confidence in that bum. I don't think he's going to do anything. Maybe 150 yards passing. We might have a couple more pick six. The last couple games we've had a couple. I think we get our third and fourth today. I think it's going to be a bloodbath, a stat game. I look for good things, man. So we'll see. Hey, real quick, Dion Rice, Smokin Jim, Luke, I missed the show. We miss you too, Dion. You got to holler at us, man. We appreciate all the posts. But Lee, you want to jump? Where's Lee at? Lee didn't. All right, Lee, you back? You back with us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, barely, man. You sound like you're in a echoes. All right.
I was warming up my gator suit. You know what? Mike McCarthy is a good offensive coordinator. If you look at Aaron Rodgers, they was unstoppable when he was with Green Bay on third down. But what you got to understand,
Aaron Rodgers looks better without him right now.
Aaron Rodgers is one of the best who ever done it. But one thing about it is that I can't remember the guy's name. Kellen, what's his name? Kellen, who's running off? Right. So they never changed offensive coordinators. So basically, he's been like a Mike Tomlin, just standing on the sideline, maybe a little bit of cheerleading. But let me say this. So he's really not implementing his offense at all. They're really running the same system that they ran before. And I think a change needs to be made for him to put his hands and implement his system that he had progress. I mean, he had success with. But with injuries and everything, Dallas is going to be one-dimensional, but they also Steelers cannot play down to their level. Pittsburgh need to come out and act like they was playing New England Patriots when they had Tom Brady, being real disciplined, real strict on their plays, executing well. So that's what needs to happen with Dallas. Don't take them lightly.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to some of these. Luke Calloway says, all I know is my son is playing cleared in the championship, and he's ready. All right, Lou. Yeah, we definitely got to check that out, man. All right. Well, Mason Rudolph was good in college as well. Yeah, so he's a bum now. All right. Dion goes by 20. I agree. And it's sad to say, but there are several teams taken this year. Dallas showed me a lot after the hit on Andy Dalton. Yeah, they didn't take care. They didn't go help him at all when he took that vicious hit, man. So, like I said, they quit on the coach. They quit on each other. That's why it's so bad for them. All right. Anybody else add anything on that, Claudio, Jim?
Luke, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you.
I think the NFL's full of it. All this Black Lives Matter and all this racism and all that. But why has Colin Kaepernick didn't get signed this year with all these openings?
No, A good point. Good point. Good point. I hear you on that.
They should put Colin Kaepernick. What's that guy from the Steelers? The left tackle.
Huh?
The left tackle.
Oh, Alexander Villanueva.
Won't he put Colin Kaepernick's name on the back of his helmet?
That'll never happen. Claudio, you would add something before we switch over to the Steelers offense versus Dallas D?
Well, again, they have all these weapons and they got to use them. Simple as that. The Dallas defense isn't bad though. They have some guys there. They have a good front. And last week they had 4 sacks, a couple turnovers. What I'm worried about is who's the cornerback? Diggs. Hopefully he's not a wide receiver for Ben today. But again, and another thing that I'd like to have seen that I didn't see last week, and that McFarland only 1 carry. Right. I would still, because their running game wasn't good last week. Connor only had like 47 yards. McFarland had 1 carry for 1 yard. He's the type of guy that he's not, from what I think, he's not going to be one of those guys who gets 4 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards. He might be one of those guys who gets 1 yard, 3 yards, 30, 40. You got to see what you have in him. And I think this would be a good game to do it with. But something that Lee said that I'll get to in my huddle, you can't take these guys lightly. You cannot take them lightly. But again, I said Dallas is going to have to try to do crazy things. They're going to try to do things off the cuff, some gadget plays, and just throw it all out there. Steelers have to continue to do what they're doing. They have a lot of weapons. Use those weapons. Spread the ball around. But I would definitely include McFarland more in the game plan today.
Okay. I definitely agree with that. Smokin Jim, your thoughts?
What the Steeler offense?
Our offense versus horrible Dallas. One of the worst I've seen.
Well, everybody knows that I'm very good friends with Butterbean. And a few years ago on draft day, I give Butterbean a call. He was sitting on the toilet eating pizza at the time. And and Butterbean's last name is Van Der Esch. So I asked him about Van Der Esch and was they related. And he said he didn't think so, but great athletes do run in his family. And I tell you what, Van Der Esch is a type of linebacker that can take over a game. And you got Sean Lee coming back. Like Claudio said, you got Diggs, who is a rookie. I really like it. Stephon Diggs, his brother. He can get beat and he won't. He'll come back and compete with you. You got Alden, that's been out of the league for 5 years. He got a bunch of sacks. You got crazy Randy Gregory. So the talent is definitely there for the Dallas Cowboys to make a lot of noise. And don't forget, Dallas is America's team. The Rooneys, again, is embellishing. Nobody said that the Steelers in the 70s was America's team. Didn't nobody like the Steelers in the 70s. It was 3 yards of ground to dust. And Franco running out of bounds. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted to see that outside of Pittsburgh. So Dallas has always been America's team, and they may be America's team today.
That's complete nonsense. I disagree wholeheartedly with everything you just said, Smokin Jim. Dallas defense is a dumpster fire. Come on, everybody's putting up. We had Washington third-round quarterback throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns against them. If Ben's not turning the ball over, Claypool should have 100 yards in the first half, a couple touchdowns. Juju's going to keep it going. They don't have anybody who could watch DJ. Heck, we may even see James Conner get 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Dallas is giving up on the season once Dak went down. It all started when they didn't give Dak that money. He should have got his money. He's definitely one of the better quarterbacks. And the fact that he's out now with a bone hanging out of his ankle because Jerry Jones wouldn't give him his money, I think it's a disgrace. That's why they're having a terrible season that they're having right now. But I see us putting up big numbers. We'll have at least 34, 35 points by the end of this game. We'll be able to pass it. We'll be able to run it. Alden Smith is a problem, but, he'll get his couple sacks. But I think everybody else will be able to keep in hand. And, Ben will have time. Just take his time, find the open guy, because there are going to be guys open all over the field against this sorry defense. So I don't see it. I see us putting up 34, 35 points. And, I've been right every game with what I said, still undefeated. So listen to what I'm saying. Put your money on me, and you'll win some money. Ain't that right, Jim? Hey, real quick, let's go with player sit real quick before we make our predictions. Well, let's do our predictions now. Unless you want to weigh in on this, Lee, you want to weigh in on our Steelers O versus Dallas D?
Well, one thing I like how the Steelers use their personnel and they found ways to win. Some weeks it's using the jet sweeps with the receivers. Ebron's out there doing his thing. Claypool's doing his thing. But I think they also need to use their tight end. What's his McDonald, number 89?
Vance gave up on catching the ball. He said, I'll just come in and block. Ebron's better than me.
Right.
So.
But if it's there to take it and it's there for him to utilize in the game plan, I think they should utilize him. And also, Snell didn't get, according to Smokin Jim, Benny Slow as a Snell didn't get a carry last week or get a game or any touches. But I think, you got guys, you got the 38, that H-back, I can't remember his name. I don't know if it's Davis or what his name, but I think they should use a couple running backs, get the running game going. But Ben do not need to throw 40 times this game. Mix it up, 50-50.
Okay. All right, real quick, let's go to the predictions before we go to that because we're almost out of the time here. All right, Lou has it, Dallas 20. It figures he would say that. All right, let's go predictions. Claudio, what are your predictions here?
I think it's going to be 37-17 Pittsburgh. The only thing, though, 37-17 Pittsburgh. But, I've coached in some games where the next day that we were supposed to be the winning team, right? And my players maybe didn't lose any sleep, but I did. The coaching staff, I guarantee you, was losing sleep last night because they said, man, what if this happens? What if that happens? So the coaching staff, they're going to be wound up, but you hope the players are. You hope the players aren't reading the press. You hope they're not hearing what they say on the radio and on TV saying that, maybe Dallas has quit on their coach or quit on their plays. This is going to be an easy day for us. When you do that, like Lee said, you're going to play to your level of competition, and that's when you get in trouble. I guarantee you the coaches will not be doing that, okay? You got to watch for the players. But if they play the way they should play, on paper, this is a blowout game. Like you said, 20 points. I like 37-17 Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right, Smokin Jim, what you got?
Well, the Steelers go back to Dallas. That's where they played the Super Bowl and lost because Hines Ward led the team to every strip club they could and came out flat. So long as these guys ain't got chicken wings on their breath, they should be okay. Hey, listen, it's going to be a close game. Dallas and Pittsburgh is always a close game. I think that Pittsburgh wins a tight one. I think Jackie Smith will drop a touchdown pass, and Pittsburgh pull it out. Maybe 28-27 Steelers.
Wow,
you got a close game. All right, Claudio.
You know what that means, Luther?
Right. That means the opposite way. Jim, you got a bad streak going so far, man.
No, he's got the spread. He's taking Dallas in the spread.
You know it. All right, Dion got it. Pittsburgh 38, Dallas 6. I'm going to go with 34-13. The Steelers in a rout. Game won't be that close. I think they jump on them early in the first half, and then drop back into that prevent, and Dallas gets some points in the second half. But a fourth-string quarterback, I think Watt and Dupree can continue to add that lead. Heck, one of them may catch Aaron Donald or Myles Garrett for the lead after this game. That's what I'm calling. Those guys to be at the top of the sack list. They're only down by 1.5 sacks. I think they both can get one, maybe two. And Tuitt, I got to give it to Tuitt. He's been balling this year. He's right up there with them. All three of those guys have over 6 sacks. So, I look for all of them to have about 7 or 8 coming out of this game. So, no, I got 34-13 Steelers in a finally we don't have a game where we got to wait to the end and see what happens. So, blood pressure running up and all that. So, yeah, it's going to be a blowout. All right, Lee, what you got on this?
Well, I think, Tomlin's going to be seeking vengeance after losing $100,000 for not wearing his mask. And I think
now in November.
I think that, with a fourth-string quarterback when the great Dick LeBeau ran the defense. I don't know about this Keith Butler guy. They used to bring that pressure to that second string, third string, fourth string quarterback. It was hard to read the zone blitz. I know they're not running actually the zone blitz now, but they do need to bring the pressure, mix up the coverage, and confuse the quarterback much as they can. And Pittsburgh needs to go out, execute, and use everything they have, not limit themselves. I think Pittsburgh will pull it out by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. All that hate, and you finally got a decent decision. All right.
Hey, Lou, it was Keith Butler, and it was getting rid of Todd Haley. I like this new offensive coordinator.
You did? Okay.
I like him. I like what he's doing this year, even though the offense looked vanilla last year. But one thing you got to do,
call the plays. That's what I like.
Well, you got to put a red circle around Big Ben. If you lose Big Ben, then it's a question mark on what can Rudolph do, or what could the engineer do coming into the game. You know what I'm talking about, dogs. But, I like what he's doing. And I think they need to go out and execute and stick to the game plan and play mistake-free football with no turnovers.
Okay. All right. Real quick, as we run out of time, man, I appreciate Terry and Lou and Dion and everybody else with their comments. And, of course, Will Riley as well. So I appreciate that. Let's go player sit real quick. Smokin Jim. Actually, I'll start with Claudio. Ben, you start him or sit him today?
Definitely play him. Definitely play him. He's going to use all those weapons. He's going to put up, like I said, 37 points. He'll be throwing some touchdowns. But hopefully he won't get some minus points, like I said, throwing to Diggs. I have a feeling Diggs is going to get some interceptions today. But I still play Ben.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing him. I think Ben has been looking for a big passing game, and Dallas is a defense that can make it happen. Those guys are quitting. All I see is 50-yard passes every game against Dallas. Conditions will be great in Jerry World. Yeah, I look for Ben to have some big yards, 400 yards, couple touchdowns. He may throw a pick in there because, he'll get a little greedy, but I look for a big game out of Ben. Smokin Jim?
Play Ben.
Play Ben. Lee?
I have a question. Who's the secondary person that been hurt that's the good run stopper? Is he playing tonight? For the Steelers.
Oh, Mike Hilton.
Yeah, is he playing?
He's been questionable. He's questionable. I doubt he plays. I wouldn't play him against Dallas. We should be able to beat Dallas without him. So I doubt he'll play.
To answer your question, besides the guy from Tampa Bay, Leftwich, that helped the Steelers win a couple games, helped the Steelers win a couple games, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. Without Ben, you don't win. So Ben's in.
Yeah. All right. And real quick, Terry says, I think Ben needs to be cognizant of that elbow, maybe sit him in the second half. All right. But we'll be going next year because they're going to have to pay Watt $150 million. Unfortunately, I've been saying that all year too. Don't forget Ben elbow is bothering them. They just ain't saying that. I think he was doing a little drama myself. When he was struggling, it was hurting. Once he started passing the second half, I didn't see him touch that elbow again. So I don't know. I think it was a little more drama, Ben. He loves the drama. All right, real quick before we run out of time, running backs. You play any of the running backs for the Steelers? Do you play James Conner, Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland? I'll start with you, Smokin Jim.
Steelers only got one back, James Conner, playing.
All right, Claudio.
You got to play Conner. And if you can sneak McFarland and sneak him in, I think he's going to get some carries today and do some damage.
All right, Lee.
Well, you can't be like Gateway and play Derek Davis all day, so you got to play all 3 running backs.
Usually I say sit corner, but I think you can play on the day. I think we'll have a couple touchdowns rushing. I don't know how big the yards on the ground will be. I think he can do 60, 70, but I think we'll have a couple touchdowns. McFarland has to get in the game more. Hopefully this is the game to do it, but I wouldn't play him unless I was hurting at that running back position. Real quick, wide receivers, Claudio, Claypool, Juju, DJ, Washington. Do you play any?
Claypool and Washington.
Okay. Smokin Jim?
Greatest receiver Steeler history, Chase Claypool. Got to play him.
A little early, but all right. Lee, your thoughts? Wide receiver.
The guy who's been ineffective and couldn't fill his shoes is Juju. So try to get him in the game more. And like I said, I like what they're doing. I love what the Steelers is doing with their offense. It looks great. But I have a question. I have a statement. A guy got fired because they didn't run a quarterback sneak on 4th and 1. How come they're not doing it now with Ben? Yeah, I'm talking about Todd Haley.
Todd Haley was not a good coach. He argued everywhere he was. He folded.
He groomed Ben. He groomed him. He got better stats with Todd Haley than he had with Bruce Arians.
All I remember is wide receivers wanting him to knock his head off everywhere he's been, from Antonio Brown to Terrell Edmonds to everybody. So it's funny that Bruce Arians bring him down to Tampa when he said, AB only could run one route. I don't understand. He was like Chris Carter.
General manager Tom Brady.
It's Tom's team now. He's the captain now, as he told Bruce Arians. It's his team. You can stay coaching or you can leave. But if I want Brown, he's staying at my house and he's taking the spot at my wide receiver. This is how it's going to go. The more and more you see New England Patriots offense than Bruce Arians / Byron Leftwich offense. Every week it seems like it changes a little more. That's why Evans isn't getting those long touchdown passes, but he's getting those, 3 and 4 yard touchdown passes in the red zone, because it's now become New England / Brady's offense. Go ahead, Lee. What did you say?
I think that, last week watching the pressure with the Ravens, I thought the Steelers could have ran some running back screen passes, which they didn't. And I feel like they need to implement that this week. And one thing that I like that Todd Haley did, you got Ebron, you got what's his name? He could play tight end or he could play out, wide receiver. But McDonald, they could have run that little tight end screen with those guys and utilize that. I like to see them utilize the tight end more, especially number 89.
And that's what I said last week, Lee. I said with the team blitzing, get McFarland out there, throw him a short pass. He'll run for days because the defense is coming in. And they didn't do it. I'm with you.
What's the old time? I've been working out in the joint, beating up dudes in the courtyard. I'm ready for you.
They want to take a shot. He wants to take a shot at the title, but hopefully he can go train at his old high school if they can get the chains off.
Everybody wants a shot at the people's champ. Not what happened, Dior. Oh man. Hey, listen, we're almost out of time, man. I thank you guys for coming on. So far, we've been pretty right. I'm 100% in my predictions, score-wise or anything. Keep your money with me. You'll make a lot. Jim's the professional gambler out here, but I think I could get with him after this season. And as some of my boxing predictions, hey, Claudio, Smokin Jim, Lee, thanks for jumping on, man. I appreciate you guys. Check us out, scsportsworld.com, and we'll check you out next time. All right, peace.